Let's play a game. eBay, steal, or scam? Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. We had our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and in case you missed it, please contact us. Contact us on Instagram at Bronzeville_comics. Third prize was Stevie B's House of Collectibles. Second prize winner was Tasmanian Bearded Pop Hunter, and the grand prize winner was Daryl Ploss. Please either contact me on the channel or on Instagram and give me your contact information so I can mail you out your prizes. Looking forward to the next giveaway. Hey comic book community, this is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Follow us over on Instagram. I am Bronzeville_comics on Instagram, and give us a follow over there. Let's talk about eBay and deals or scams, steals or scams, what to look out for. So I kind of routinely, during my lunchtime, my downtime, late in the morning, I tend to look for auctions that are ending and see if there are any deals. And sometimes I get some great deals. And I specifically look for deals. I don't look for, it's a little bit below fair market value. I look for deals. And I've gotten some really great stuff. You have to be careful, though, because the old adage, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So I was recently looking at a listing on eBay, and the way that it was described was X-Men Giant #1, graded perfect condition. That was the title of the eBay sale, and there was a picture of Giant Size X-Men #1. Red flag #1. Well, actually, this could go either way. It wasn't described correctly, which means that the person that put up the listing didn't really know comic books. If you knew comic books, you're going to say Giant Size X-Men #1, 1975, CGC 9.8. You might leave out the fact that this book has off-white to white pages, but you probably a good seller would include that as well. Now, it was it was an auction coming due just before noon Eastern time. So about a half hour before, I saw this on my feed, and it was at $5,150. Now, you couldn't see either in the description nor in the picture that it was a 9.8. But still, a mid-grade of Giant Size X-Men #1 for $5,000 is an excellent deal. So I went into the listing, and I saw in the second picture, it was a 9.8. I'm like, the fair market value of the two most recent sales of a 9.8 are $48,000. So this was sitting at $5,000 with a half hour to go. So I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of money to invest. You really, got to do my homework. So the first picture was a little suspect because there was a lot of glare on the plastic, and it was very hazy looking. So the second picture, though, you could see the identification number on the slab. And if you look that up on the CGC site, it is a legitimate 9.8 with off-white to white pages. Now, initially I thought it was fake because the cover looked more off-white than white. And I would is a kind of yellowish or an off-white cover in that book gonna get a 9.8? But that's the book that it was. Now, the description, brief as it was, X-Men Giant graded, period. The comic capitals Holy Grail, period. If you are a collector, this is a must-have, period, lowercase p, perfect condition. Nothing more than that. Now, the seller had a 100% feedback rating with a feedback number of 53. But only one sale on eBay in the last 12 months. Most of the rest of their rating was gotten from being a buyer. Now, when a seller has only sold one item and the item they're trying to sell, and the only current listing they have is a book that's graded that has a value of nearly $50,000, that raises red flags. And it's a risk-reward scenario. Now, if you have $5,000 to risk on that or more, it was $5,000 when I started looking at it. When the listing expired, it sold in the last seconds. It went from $5,150 to $12,001.69, and then $100 more. The final sale was $12,101.69. The starting bid was $500. And there were a lot of bids at the beginning by a user, and the way that eBay has the anonymity of the usernames begins with an M and ends with a 0, with 1 feedback rating. And basically, that particular potential buyer put in bids of, started at 500, of 610, 750, 800, 900, 1,000, and then they put in the last bid of 5,150. The first time you're getting on eBay, you bought one thing on eBay, and the second thing you're going to buy is Giant Size X-Men #2 and a CGC 9.8. I guess it's possible. I guess it'd be somebody that doesn't use eBay, and somebody told them, hey, the Giant Size X-Men #1 and 9.8 is there. Maybe you should sign up for eBay and, you know, spend thousands of dollars on this book. Suspicious. So, what signifies a good deal, even a steal, and what signifies a scam? Now, the username also was kind of unusual. There were, and I'm not going to give it away, but there were random combination of numbers and letters almost. It almost looked like a computer-generated password rather than a username. Be that as it may, there's really no history to the user. That's always an enormous red flag. Now, inexperienced users, they're great to get deals from. People who are just using eBay as amateurs to liquidate stuff that they found. You know, they're cleaning out their parents' house, their brother-in-law moved out of town and left their stuff there, and they have toys and cards and coins and comics and furniture and whatever. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Or people that, you know, that buy out estates and buy out storage lockers and come upon this stuff. But how many people are randomly going to get a CGC graded 9.8 of Giant Size X-Men #1? I could understand a mid-grade Giant Size X-Men #1. Somebody had some comics. This was one of them. Yeah, maybe they picked it up, you know, 47 years ago, and it's kind of been sitting in the house somewhere. That's possible. Not likely. The probability's small, but law of large numbers, it could happen. But you'd like inexperienced sellers with feedback of 100 or 60 or, you know, 512, not 1. Now, in the case of this seller, as I said, they had 53, but it was all buying. And I didn't look into what they bought. I wasn't really going to dive that deeply into it. But inexperienced sellers are good. Ghost sellers are frightening. Now, the other thing that made me leery was, so the other thing that could make it a deal is the poor description. My wife buys jewelry. She used to buy jewelry fairly frequently on eBay, and specific jewelry makers. When someone misspells the name in an eBay search, it doesn't come up. So that's a point in time where you eliminate a lot of buyers. So if you're going to type in Giant Size X-Men 1, CGC, you're not going to see this book right away. It's going to be buried down because it doesn't have those keywords. And so that's, you minimize the number of eyes that are on it. If you find it, there are a lot of people that may be looking for it that aren't going to see it. That could be a good thing. So that was something here. The title description was terrible. Inexperienced seller, yeah. 1/4 of fair market value. That's what the final auction went for. Yeah, you can get deals like that, but usually in auctions, for a big item, somebody's going to see it. Somebody with experienced eyes is going to see it. Buy it now, yeah, you can get deals. I missed out on a giant size X-Men #1. Looked like lower mid-grade, like maybe a 4-ish, for under $100. I was looking at it, not believing it was real, just like this, and then somebody scooped it up. And I was kicking myself. But these things happen, you know. So it was troubling, and it was one of those things. Now, you could take, eBay is really good at protecting buyers. Most likely, what would happen? Now, let's look at the full story. There was another listing, a buy it now for $50,000 that has the same pictures. So, I mean, the exact same pictures. Let's put the pieces together. The $50,000 sale is somebody who has other stuff. They have experienced buyer ratings, and what their listings are, it's not shocking that they have a giant size X-Men #1 and a CGC 9.8. $50,000 is a very fair price to list as a buy it now. If you really want that book and you have the cash, you might. It just went for $48,000 the last couple of times. 50, not out of the realm of possibility, right? Think about it. For normal folks, if there was a book that you really wanted and the fair market value is about $480 for a 9.8, and somebody listed for $500, if you really wanted the book, the $20 probably won't stop you. If you're going to spend $48,000 in a book, you're really going to stop to spend $50,000? Now, it did occur to me. Did I have the available funds when it was a 5150 to spend about $5,000 on a comic book? And, you know, as I'm thinking about it a little bit more, a half hour left, it's going to go for more than that. So I just kind of wanted to see how it went. So the very likely scenario is that this is a fraudulent sale from a fraudulent seller. Now, more than likely, since eBay protects the buyers, the person that shelled out 12 grand is going to get their money back. But they're not going to have that 12 grand in hand until the case is resolved. And I haven't had an eBay dispute case in years. I don't know how long it's going to take, and I don't know how long it takes for a $12,000 case to be resolved. Hopefully, the person that put in the winning bid is going to recognize, and I think eBay might have been alerted already. I know that Dave from Comic Book Investments had done a piece on this, where he put in a warning through eBay. He did something to notify them that this is a potentially fraudulent sale. It was like a fake listing. So hopefully that person will realize and question it more quickly. So let's just wrap it up here. We'll see if there's any more to this story. And if you've heard anything about this, know who this buyer might be, just drop a comment down below. Be interested to know, to follow up on that. But do your due diligence, especially if you're going to be spending thousands of dollars on a book. But even for a book that's $100, you don't want to throw your money away. Look at the seller rating. Does it look legitimate? Look at the listing. Ask questions. So if you saw this auction coming up like a day beforehand, if it were me, I would contact the seller and ask some questions. Do you have other pictures of the book? You know, something like that to verify that they actually have the book in their possession. Could you take a close-up of the back cover? Something like that. Look at their rating. And sometimes you'll see seller ratings that are not 100%. Now, if it's 99.8%, look at why they got negative feedback rating. And if there's a pattern, you know, whatever the complaints are, if it's shipping, if it's delays, if it's they're taking down listings, you decide for yourself if you want to go away. But that's a way to do your homework. eBay has that information for you. Look at the pictures. Ask questions. And decide for yourself. It's your money. I can't tell you what to do with your money. If you want to take the gamble, if I had tens of thousands of dollars in my comic book slush fund, and I wanted to take the gamble saying, I'm going to throw $12,000 at this. If I win, I'm going to have a $48,000 book. I can make a quick $36,000 profit. Yeah. If it's fraudulent, I'm eventually going to get my money back from eBay. Is it worth the hassle, though? And is it worth you being out of pocket that money? I've looked at things and weighed that risk reward. Sometimes it's paid off. Sometimes they didn't get the item, and sometimes it didn't pay off. Like I said, I saw that listing. It looked like a legitimate listing. Somebody that just didn't know what they had listed it too low, sold for under $100, including shipping from the UK for a giant size X-Men 1. And the other thing you want to make sure of now, graded books, you have some guarantees. And if you have access to the CGC website, you can see like grader notes. You can see if it is a valid book, if you have an account. Because people can doctor pictures and that sort of thing. The one thing to really watch out for are facsimile editions. This has become a cottage industry. And they'll list facsimile edition like in the last line of the description, but they'll be like, you know, hot book, Werewolf by Night 32 is a big one. Werewolf by Night 32, CGC it. It's the facsimile. You see the barcode on it. The price is like $2.95, not 25 cents. So there are warnings, but we can all get caught up in the moment. Take a beat. Do your homework. I waited maybe a little too long on that X-Men, giant size X-Men #1 for under $100. So be it. So the thing is, don't get caught up. And the more experienced you get at using eBay and the more that you know about comic books, the better decisions you're able to make. When you see something like, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Sometimes it might be a great deal. But if it looks too good to be true, it might not be. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. It's your money. Spend it wisely. That's my opinion. So comment if you know anything further about this story. If I get any more information, I can do it in a future video. And buyer beware. Just have fun out there. Hopefully you get some good deals on eBay. Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out over on IG, Bronzeville _comics. And this is Jim saying, until next time, enjoy your comics.